Have you ever wondered how justice was served in the mighty Roman Empire? Forget the modern courtroom dramas you see on TV. We're journeying back 2,000 years to a world of togas, tablets, and trials that shaped the very foundation of Western law. Imagine stepping into a Roman basilica, not a church, but a grand public hall. Sunlight streams through high windows, illuminating dust, motes, dancing in the air. The air is thick with anticipation, the scent of old parchment, and the faint echo of voices from the bustling forum outside. This isn't just a building, it's a stage for justice. Towering marble columns line the hall, and between them, statues of gods and goddesses gaze down with impassive eyes. Aquitas, the spirit of justice, holds her scales, a constant reminder that every argument will be weighed. At the far end, on a raised platform called the tribunal, sits the magistrate. He's not a judge in our modern sense, but a high-ranking official, perhaps a praetor, draped in his toga praetexta with its purple border, a symbol of his authority. Before him is a heavy wooden table, cluttered with wax tablets, styluses, and papyrus scrolls containing the laws and case details. Unlike today, there were no professional lawyers in the early days of Rome. Think of men like Cicero, whose powerful speeches could sway the hearts and minds of the jury. And who was the jury? Not 12 of your peers, but a much larger group of citizens. Sometimes opt 75 men of high social standing, chosen to listen to the evidence and render a verdict. The trial itself was a spectacle. An accuser, the plaintiff, would make his charge, then the defendant would respond. There were no objections shouted from across the room. Instead, it was a battle of rhetoric. The orators would use every tool at their disposal. Emotional appeals, character assassinations, dramatic gestures, and carefully constructed logical arguments. They would call witnesses, who would swear an oath to the gods before giving their testimony. Evidence could be anything from a signed contract on a tablet to the testimony of a neighbor who saw something suspicious. Let's imagine a typical case. A dispute over land. One man claims his neighbor has moved the boundary stones to steal a strip of his vineyard. The orator for the plaintiff might begin with a passionate plea, describing his client as a hard-working farmer, a pillar of the community, whose livelihood is being threatened by a greedy and deceitful neighbor. He might present witnesses who have known the family for generations and can attest to the original boundary line. He might even unroll a dusty scroll, a land deed from 100 years prior, as definitive proof. Then, the defense's orator would take the floor. He might paint the accuser as a troublemaker, known for his frivolous lawsuits. He could argue that the boundary stones were moved not by his client, but by a recent flood, a natural act of the gods. He might bring his own witnesses to speak of his client's impeccable character and honesty. The goal wasn't just to present facts, but to create the most compelling narrative. Who was more believable? Who was more virtuous? These were the questions the jury had to consider. One of the most fascinating aspects of Roman law was its emphasis on procedure. There were specific formulas and rituals that had to be followed precisely. This formalism was meant to ensure that the law was applied consistently and to prevent frivolous claims. It was a system built on tradition and order. As the day wears on, the sun shifts, casting long shadows across the marble floor. The orators, their voices growing hoarse, make their final arguments. They might point to the statues of justice and truth, imploring the jury to uphold these sacred Roman values. The magistrate listens intently, ensuring the proper procedures are followed. But the final decision rests with the jury. Now comes the moment of truth. Each juror is given to small wax tablets. On one is written the letter C for condemno. I condemn. On the other, the letter A for absolvo. I absolve. They approach a large urn, and one by one, drop in the tablet that represents their vote. The sound of the small wooden tablets clattering into the vessel is the only sound in the silent hall. Once all the votes are cast, an attendant counts them. The magistrate then rises and pronounces the verdict. If the defendant is absolved, A is free to go, his reputation restored. The crowd might murmur in approval or disappointment, but if he is condemned, the sentence is delivered. Punishments varied widely. For a debt case, he might be forced into servitude. For a crime like theft, you could face fines or corporal punishment. For more serious offenses, the penalty could be exile, being sent to the mines, or even death. There was no room for ambiguity. The judgment of the court was final. This system, with its public trials, citizen juries, and reliance on oratory, might seem chaotic to us, but it was revolutionary for its time. It was based on the principle that disputes should be settled through reason and argument, not by force. The Romans gave us concepts like innocent until proven guilty, and the idea that the law should be written down and accessible to all. The 12 Tables, Rome's earliest law code, were displayed in the Forum for everyone to see. Of course, the system wasn't perfect. It heavily favored the wealthy and powerful, who could afford the best orators and influence the right people. Women, slaves, and foreigners had very few legal rights. Yet, the legal principles developed in these sun-drenched basilicas endured. They were studied, adapted, and incorporated into legal systems across Europe and the world. The language of the law today is still filled with Latin terms. Pro bono, habeas corpus, affidavit. So the next time you hear about a court case, remember its ancient roots. Picture that Roman basilica, the stern magistrate, the passionate orators, and the citizen jury weighing the fate of one of their own. It's a powerful reminder that the search for justice is a timeless human endeavor, a thread that connects our world to the grandeur and complexity of ancient Rome. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey back in time. If you enjoyed this exploration of Roman law, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the ancient world. Let me know in the comments what other aspects of Roman life you'd like to see next. Until then, stay curious. Welcome, fellow travelers, to a journey through time. As we explore the eternal city, Rome, under the enchanting cloak of night. Forget the bustling crowds, the roar of traffic, the endless queues. Tonight, we walk the ancient stones alone, guided by the soft glow of streetlights and the silent stories whispered by ruins. This is Rome as few ever see it, a city asleep dreaming of its glorious past. Our journey begins here, in the heart of what was once the center of the known world, the Roman Forum. By day, this place is a hive of activity, echoing with the footsteps of thousands. But now, under the vast, starry sky, it's transformed. A profound stillness has settled over the weathered columns and crumbling arches. Look there, the Temple of Saturn, its 8 surviving columns standing like stoic sentinels against the darkness. For centuries, this was the treasury of Rome, a symbol of its immense wealth and power. Now, it stands in quiet dignity, a monument to empires that rise and fall. As we pan across the landscape, our eyes are drawn to the Arch of Septimia Severus. Even in the dim light, the intricate carvings are visible, telling tales of distant battles and triumphant returns. Imagine Roman legions marching through this very arch, their standards gleaming under torchlight, the cheers of the populace echoing through these hills. Tonight, the only sound is the gentle rustle of the wind, a soft sigh from history itself. The air is cool and crisp, carrying the scent of ancient stone and the distant fragrance of pine trees from the Palatine Hill. It's a moment of pure magic, where you can almost feel the pulse of the past beating just beneath the surface. Let's wander from the Forum, our footsteps, the only sound on the empty cobblestones. These streets, the very same ones trodden by emperors, poets, and gladiators, are now our private pathway. The warm, golden light from the lamps casts long dancing shadows, making the ancient architecture seem alive. Every corner we turn reveals a new vista, a new secret. We're heading towards one of Rome's most iconic and breathtaking sights, a place that embodies both grandeur and tragedy. Here we are, standing before the Colosseum. By night, it is an entirely different beast. Stripped of the daytime crowds, its scale is almost overwhelming. The massive arches, stacked one upon the other, create a mesmerizing pattern of light and shadow. It's a skeletal giant, its bones illuminated against the deep indigo sky. You can almost hear the ghostly roar of 100,000 spectators, the clash of steel, the desperate cries of those who fought and died within these walls. But tonight, there is only a solemn, powerful silence. It's a place of contemplation, a stark reminder of the spectacle and brutality that defined an era. Walking around its perimeter, you can touch the cool, rough travertine stone, feeling the weight of 2,000 years of history under your fingertips. It's a humbling experience, connecting you directly to the hands that built this marvel and the souls who passed through its gates. From the monumental, we move to the intimate. Let's make our way through the narrow, winding streets of the Trastevere neighborhood. This area, known for its bohemian charm, takes on a different personality at night. The ivy-clad buildings are bathed in a soft, romantic glow from old-fashioned lanterns. The lively restaurants have closed their doors, their outdoor tables and chairs sitting empty, waiting for a new day. The streets are deserted, save for a stray cat darting across our path. This is the authentic, residential Rome, where life unfolds at a slower pace. The silence here isn't the solemn silence of the ruins, but a peaceful, domestic quiet. You can imagine families sleeping behind the shuttered windows, dreaming their Roman dreams. It's a side of the city that feels personal and deeply calming. Now, let's ascend. We're climbing the Spanish Steps, another landmark usually swarming with people. Tonight, they are ours alone. Each step we take lifts us higher above the city, offering a progressively more stunning view. The Barcacha fountain at the base, shaped like a sinking boat, murmurs softly, its gentle splashing the only sound. As we reach the top, outside the Trina dei Monti church, we're rewarded with a spectacular panoramic view. The rooftops of Rome spread out before us like a dark, rolling sea, punctuated by the illuminated domes of countless churches. The city lights twinkle like a carpet of fallen stars, stretching all the way to the horizon. From this vantage point, Rome feels both ancient and alive, a timeless masterpiece painted with light and shadow. Our nocturnal pilgrimage wouldn't be complete without a visit to a place of divine artistry. We find ourselves in the Piazza Navona, an elegant, elongated square that was once a Roman stadium. At its center stands Bernini's magnificent fountain of the Four Rivers. Under the moonlight, the sculpted figures seem to writhe with life. The water cascades over the marble, its sound filling the vast, empty space. The allegorical figures representing the Nile, the Ganges, the Danube, and the Rio de la Plata seem to be in silent conversation under the watchful gaze of the stars. The surrounding buildings, with their Baroque facades, frame the scene perfectly. It feels like stepping into a living painting, a world where art and reality have merged into one breathtaking whole. As our journey through the Roman night draws to a close, we arrive at our final destination, the Pantheon. This architectural marvel, with its giant, unreinforced concrete dome and the famous oculus open to the sky, is a testament to Roman engineering genius. At night, it possesses a mysterious and powerful presence. The massive columns of its porticos seem to guard ancient secrets. Standing in the piazza before it, you can look up through the oculus and see a perfect circle of the night sky. On a clear night like this, you might even see a star or two pass directly overhead. It's a profound connection between the earth and the heavens, between human ambition and the infinite cosmos. The silence here is absolute, almost sacred. It's a moment to simply be still, to breathe, and to feel the immense, silent power of history all around you. As the first hints of dawn begin to touch the sky, our magical night in Rome is ending. We've walked in the footsteps of emperors, stood in awe before monuments of genius and brutality, and found quiet beauty in hidden corners. We've seen a city that is not just a collection of old stones, but a living, breathing entity with a soul that truly comes alive in the stillness of the night. The Eternal City has shared its secrets with us, and it's an experience we'll never forget. Thank you for joining me on this peaceful exploration of Rome by night. I hope it brought you a sense of calm and wonder. If you enjoyed this journey, please like, share, and subscribe for more adventures into the quiet heart of the world's most beautiful places. Until next time, travel well and dream big. Have you ever wondered what secrets lie hidden within the walls of a forgotten palace? Imagine stepping back in time into a world of emperors and empresses, where every corner whispers a story. Tonight, we're not just imagining. We're going on a journey deep into the heart of a majestic imperial palace, long lost to the world, now brought back to life just for you. As we step inside, the first thing you'll notice is the sheer scale of this grand hall. Look up. The ceiling seems to touch the sky, supported by massive pillars carved with intricate dragons and phoenixes, symbols of power and grace. The air here feels different, doesn't it? It's thick with history, a silent testament to centuries of ceremonies, feasts, and whispered conspiracies. You can almost hear the faint echo of court music, the rustle of silk gowns, and the murmur of voices that once filled this magnificent space. Now, let your eyes drift to the sides of the hall. Flanking us are rows of imposing golden statues. These aren't just decorations. They are guardians, silent sentinels that have watched over this palace for ages. Each statue represents a legendary hero or a mythical beast from ancient folklore. See the detail in their craftsmanship, the fierce expression of the warrior, the gentle curve of the celestial maiden's hand. It's said that under the light of a full moon, their eyes seem to follow you, as if they hold the memories of all they have witnessed. And speaking of moonlight, look how it streams through the towering windows. It casts long ethereal shadows across the polished marble floor, creating a scene that feels almost like a dream. The moonlight isn't harsh. It's soft and silvery, illuminating dust motes dancing in the air like tiny, shimmering stars. This is the palace's nighttime magic, a time when its true, serene beauty is revealed. It's a peacefulness that contrasts sharply with the bustling daytime life it once knew. Feel the gentle breeze. It's making the heavy silk curtains sway ever so slightly. These aren't just any curtains. Woven with threads of pure gold and silver, they depict epic tales and mythological landscapes. As they move, the scenes seem to come alive. A dragon appears to breathe fire. A river seems to flow. Each ripple of the fabric is like turning a page in a history book written in silk. Imagine the hands that wove these masterpieces, the stories they intended to tell. Let's walk deeper into the hall. The floor beneath our feet is a mosaic of precious stones, so polished that it reflects the moonlight like a still, dark lake. Every step we take feels significant, as if we are walking on a map of the cosmos. The patterns aren't random. They represent constellations and astronomical charts, showing the ancient ruler's connection to the heavens. It was believed that by walking this path, the emperor aligned himself with celestial forces, ensuring prosperity for his kingdom. Notice the quiet. It's a profound silence. A quiet that isn't empty but full of presence. In a place that was once the epicenter of a sprawling empire, this tranquility feels both strange and sacred. It allows you to appreciate the smaller details. The faint scent of sandalwood that still lingers in the air. The subtle carvings on the wooden beams high above. The way the sound of our own breathing seems to echo in this vast space. It's a meditative experience, connecting us to the past in a deeply personal way. As we approach the far end of the hall, we see the throne. It's not as ostentatious as you might expect. Carved from a single piece of jade and positioned on a simple dais, it exudes a quiet authority. This was the seat of power, the very center of the empire. Moonlight bathes it in a soft glow, making the jade seem almost translucent. It's easy to imagine an emperor sitting here, not as a tyrant, but as a solitary figure, contemplating the weight of his responsibilities under the watchful eyes of the moon and the golden guardians. This palace was more than just a home for royalty. It was a symbol, a work of art, a center of culture and power. Every element, from the golden statues to the silk curtains, was designed with purpose and meaning. It was built to inspire awe, to project power, and to create a heaven on earth for its inhabitants. And even now, in its silent, moonlit state, that power and beauty remain, untouched by time. It's a reminder that true artistry and masterful design are timeless. As our journey through this grand hall comes to a close, take one last look around. Absorb the peaceful atmosphere, the cinematic play of light and shadow, the sheer magnificence of it all. This is a place where history breathes, where fantasy feels real. It's a world we can get lost in, a perfect escape from our busy lives. The silence here isn't an absence of sound, but the presence of peace, a peace that we can all carry with us, long after we've left these hallowed walls. Thank you for joining me on this incredible exploration. I hope you felt the magic of this forgotten imperial palace. If you enjoyed this journey and want to discover more hidden wonders and serene escapes, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We have many more adventures waiting for you. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring. Have you ever felt the quiet call of history, a whisper from a time long past? Imagine a world without glowing screens, a world lit only by the soft, dancing flame of a candle. Here, in the heart of the night, knowledge wasn't just consumed, it was crafted, word by precious word. Look closely. See the texture of this ancient scroll. the fibers of the papyrus woven together like a tapestry of time. Each crease and fold tells a story, a journey through countless hands and across centuries. This isn't just paper, it's a vessel, a time capsule waiting to be opened. The ink, dark and rich, sits in its pot, a silent pool of potential. It holds within it the power to record laws, to pen love letters, to map the stars, or to capture the soul of a poet. And here, the instrument of creation itself, the quill pen, carved from the feather of a bird. It's a simple tool, yet it connects the mind directly to the page. Feel the delicate balance of it, the way it would rest in your hand. The tip, meticulously sharpened, is poised, ready to translate thoughts into tangible form. Every downstroke, every curve, every single dot is a deliberate act of will. There's no backspace key here, no delete button. Every mark is permanent, a testament to the author's focus and intent. The candlelight flickers, casting long, deep shadows that dance around the room. In this gentle, golden glow, the world outside fades away. The only sounds are the soft scratch of the nib on the scroll, the quiet crackle of the wick, and the steady rhythm of your own breathing. This is a sanctuary of thought, a haven for concentration. The darkness isn't empty, it's full of potential, a canvas for the imagination. The limited light forces you to focus, to draw your entire world into this small, warm circle of illumination. Think of the patience it required. To fill a single page was a labor of hours. To complete a scroll, a work of weeks or months. This wasn't about speed or efficiency. It was about dedication. It was about pouring a piece of your very soul onto the page. The scribes, scholars, and poets who worked under such conditions weren't just writing. They were performing a sacred act, preserving human thought against the erosion of time. Let's zoom in even closer into the very ink itself. See how it bleeds ever so slightly into the fibers of the parchment. Each letter is unique, a miniature work of art with its own character and imperfections. These aren't the uniform, sterile fonts of a computer. This is the human hand at work, with all its beautiful fallibility. You can almost feel the pressure of the writer's hand, heavier on one stroke, lighter on another. You can sense the rhythm of their writing, the pauses for thought, the moments of inspiration, when the words flowed like a river. This peaceful scene is a powerful reminder of what we've lost in our modern rush. We have access to infinite information. But do we have this depth of connection? We can communicate instantly across the globe. But do we take the time for such deliberate, mindful creation? The world of the scroll and quill wasn't just about recording facts. It was about the experience of thinking, the meditative process of bringing an idea into the physical world. Imagine the person who sat here. Was it a monk in a cold monastery, carefully copying a sacred text by the last light of day? Or a philosopher in ancient Alexandria, wrestling with the fundamental questions of existence? Perhaps it was a playwright in Elizabethan England, their mind ablaze with drama and poetry, furiously scribbling a masterpiece that would echo through the ages. The objects remain, but the hands that held them are long gone. Yet their presence lingers. Their intellectual and creative energy is embedded in these artifacts. In this quiet space, there is no distraction, no notification, no endless scroll of content. There is only the task at hand. The flickering flame isn't just a source of light, it's a companion, a silent witness to the act of creation. It sets the pace, a slow, organic rhythm that encourages deep thought and careful composition. The world of the candle and quill is a world of focus, a world where the noise of the day recedes and the inner voice can finally be heard. As we watch the light play across these time-worn surfaces, we're not just looking at old objects. We're connecting with a fundamental human impulse, the desire to leave a mark, to share our stories, to communicate across the impossible barrier of time. Before digital clouds and hard drives, this was the cloud. This was the backup, a fragile scroll, a pot of ink, and the unwavering human spirit, determined to ensure that their thoughts would not be lost to the darkness. This scene is an invitation to slow down, to appreciate the beauty in the simple and the handmade, to find our own quiet space, our own metaphorical candlelight, where we can think deeply and create with intention. The tools may have changed, but the need for that quiet, focused sanctuary is more important now than ever. It's a reminder that the most profound ideas often arise, not from noise and speed, but from silence and patience. Thank you for joining me in this moment of quiet reflection. If you found beauty and peace in this journey back in time, consider subscribing for more moments of calm and inspiration. Until next time, find your light. Have you ever wondered what happens when an empire falls? Not in the grand battles or the political assassinations, but in the quiet, forgotten rooms where the daily work of that empire was done. Tonight, we're stepping back in time, not to a grand Colosseum or a majestic temple, but to a humble Roman office, abandoned and left to the silence of 2,000 years. The moonlight streams through a crack in the stone, a single, ethereal beam cutting through the darkness. It illuminates a world frozen in time. Look here, a heavy wooden chair, once occupied by a diligent scribe or a stern magistrate, now lies on its side. A fallen soldier in the war against time. Its sturdy legs, which once held the weight of Roman authority, are now just debris on the dusty floor. Our eyes are drawn to the desk. It's not grand, just a simple, functional piece of furniture. But what's on it, or rather, what's fallen from it, tells a story. Scrolls, dozens of them, lie scattered like fallen leaves in autumn. Once these held precious words, legal decrees, tax records, personal letters, perhaps even poetry. They were the lifeblood of the administration, the very fabric of Roman society, meticulously penned by candlelight. Now, they are brittle and broken. Some are partially unrolled, revealing tantalizing glimpses of elegant Latin script, now faded and almost Who wrote these? What were their hopes, their fears, their mundane daily concerns? Was it a man named Lucius, complaining about the cost of grain? Or a woman named Julia, sending a message to her son in a distant legion? We'll never know. Their voices are lost, swallowed by the centuries. The ink has faded, the papyrus has crumbled, and their stories have dissolved into dust. Dust. It's everywhere. It hangs thick in the air, a swirling galaxy of microscopic particles, each one a fragment of the past. When the moonlight catches it just right, it glitters, like a ghostly shroud over the entire scene. You can almost feel it on your skin, the dry, gritty texture of forgotten history. This isn't just dirt, it's the physical remnant of everything that once was. Skin cells of long-dead Romans, fibers from their togas, pollen from flowers that bloomed in the gardens of the empire. Let's move deeper into the room. Over in the corner, an oil lamp, its clay body still intact, rests on a small niche in the wall. It's empty, of course. The last flame it held was extinguished millennia ago. Imagine the moment that flame went out for the final time. Was it a hasty departure? A sudden evacuation as enemies breached the city walls? Or was it a more gradual decline? The office simply not being used anymore. The scribe pensioned off or reassigned, until one day, no one came back to light the lamp at all. The second thought is almost sadder, isn't it? The slow, quiet death of a place, forgotten rather than destroyed. The walls themselves are a testament to this decay. The plaster is cracked and peeling, revealing the rough stonework beneath. In some places you can see the faint, ghost-like outlines of where shelves or cabinets once hung. What did they hold? More scrolls. Tools of the trade like styluses, ink pots, and wax tablets. We can only guess. The empty spaces are as evocative as the objects that remain, hinting at a life and a purpose that have long since vanished. The window is our only connection to the outside world, both then and now. Through its cracked panes, we see the same moon that the occupants of this room would have seen. It's a powerful, humbling thought. The moon is the silent witness, the constant observer of human ambition and its inevitable decay. It saw the rise of Rome, its glorious peak, and its slow, agonizing fall. And it continues to shine, indifferent to our fleeting existence. There's a deep sense of melancholy here, but it's not an unpleasant one. It's a calm, reflective sadness. It is the feeling you get when you realize the immense scale of history and your own small place within it. This room wasn't the stage for great events. No emperors were crowned here, no pivotal treaties signed. This was a place of work, of routine, of the everyday business of life. And that's what makes it so powerful. It reminds us that empires aren't just made of generals and senators. They're built on the backs of ordinary people, living ordinary lives in ordinary rooms like this one. As we look around one last time, let's absorb the stillness. The only sound is the whisper of the wind through the cracked window, a low, mournful sigh. It's the sound of time itself. The fallen chair, the broken scrolls, the dust in the moonlight, they are all part of a single, silent symphony of decay. It's a beautiful and heartbreaking scene, a poignant reminder that everything, no matter how powerful or permanent it may seem, eventually succumbs to the quiet, relentless passage of time. This isn't just an abandoned office. It's a tomb. Not a tomb for a person, but for a way of life, for an era. It's a physical manifestation of a memory, and by visiting it, by bearing witness to its silent decay, we honor the countless forgotten lives that were lived within its walls. We remember them, even if we can never know their names. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the past. It's in these quiet, forgotten corners of the world that we can often find the most profound stories. If you found this exploration as moving as I did, consider subscribing for more journeys into the heart of history. Until next time, stay curious. Come with me as we journey back in time, not to the Rome of roaring crowds and triumphant marches, but to a quieter, more ethereal city. We're stepping into the heart of the Roman Forum, but under a different light, a different ruler of the sky. The sun has long since set, and now the moon reigns supreme. Look around. The air is cool and still, carrying the scent of damp earth and ancient stone. A soft, silvery mist clings to the ground, weaving its way through the fallen columns and skeletal remains of what were once magnificent basilicas and temples. It is as if the ghosts of the past are breathing a gentle sigh over their once great home. The moonlight bathes everything in a monochromatic glow, transforming the familiar ochre and terracotta hues of the day into shades of silver, gray, and deep, velvety shadow. Above us, a canopy of infinite stars glitters against the inky blackness. This is the same sky that Caesars, senators, and Vestal virgins gazed upon. They saw these same constellations, perhaps pondered their own mortality under this very same celestial dome. The silence here is profound. It's not an empty silence, but one filled with the weight of centuries. The clamor of the marketplace, the passionate speeches of orators, the rumble of chariot wheels on stone all have faded into a whisper carried on the night wind. Let's walk a little closer to the Temple of Saturn. Its remaining columns stand like patient sentinels, their fluted surfaces catching the moonlight. See how nature has begun its slow, persistent reclamation. Ivy and wildflowers have found footholds in the crevices of the marble. Grass grows soft and green where once there were paved courtyards. The wind, our only companion, rustles through the blades, creating a sound like a soft, continuous shush, as if the ruins themselves are asking us to listen, to feel the history that permeates this sacred ground. This isn't a place of sadness or decay. Under the moon's gentle watch, it becomes a sanctuary of peace and reflection. The grandeur is still here, but it's a different kind of grandeur. It's not about power or empire, but about endurance, about the beauty that can be found in imperfection and the passage of time. The sharp edges of history have been softened by the night. Imagine standing here 2,000 years ago. This very spot would have been the bustling center of the known world. Torches would have flickered, casting dancing shadows, illuminating the faces of merchants, soldiers, and citizens from every corner of the empire. The air would have been thick with 100 different languages, the smell of street food, and the energy of a city that never slept. Now, all that energy has condensed into this serene, powerful stillness. We are alone with the monuments, the moon, and the memory of it all. Let's wander towards the Palatine Hill, the legendary founding place of Rome. From here, we can look down upon the sprawling Forum. The ruins are laid out before us like a giant, sleeping map. The Arch of Titus, a ghostly white archway, seems to frame a distant star. The Curia, the Senate House, sits in stoic silence, its brickwork glowing faintly. It is almost as if you can feel the echoes of heated debates and world-changing decisions still hanging in the air. The moonlight has a way of stripping things down to their essence. It erases the distractions of the modern city that surrounds the Forum. The distant hum of traffic fades away, The electric lights of present-day Rome are just a faint glow on the horizon. Here, in this bubble of moonlight and history, time itself feels fluid. We are visitors, not just in a place, but in an era. As we stand here, notice the intricate details that the moonlight chooses to reveal. The worn face of a stone carving, the delicate curve of a fallen acanthus leaf from a Corinthian capital, the precise geometry of the remaining floor tiles in the Basilica of Moxen. These were not just buildings. They were works of art, built with a pride and skill that has defied millennia. Every stone tells a story of the hands that shaped it, the feet that wore it smooth, and the events it has silently witnessed. The moon continues its silent journey across the sky, its light shifting as it moves. Shadows lengthen and shrink, revealing new perspectives, new secrets. A column that was just a dark silhouette a moment ago now has its texture and form beautifully illuminated. A patch of darkness now reveals a hidden alcove. It's a slow, unfolding performance, a play of light and shadow directed by the cosmos itself. There is a profound sense of peace in this nocturnal landscape. It's a reminder that even the greatest empires are ephemeral, that all human endeavors eventually return to the earth. But it's not a somber thought. Instead, it's strangely comforting. It speaks to a cycle, a continuity. The stones remain, the stars remain, and the wind continues to whisper its ancient songs. We are just temporary custodians of their stories, privileged to be here in this quiet, magical moment. This is a side of Rome that few get to experience. It's a personal, intimate encounter with history. Away from the crowds and the relentless sun, the ruins can finally breathe. They share their soul with those who are patient enough to listen in the quiet of the night. The moonlight doesn't just illuminate the stones. It illuminates our own connection to the vast sweep of human history. As our time here draws to a close, let's take one last look. The mist is beginning to thicken, shrouding the lower levels of the Forum in an even deeper mystery. The stars seem to burn just a little brighter before the first hint of dawn. The silence holds a promise of a new day, but for now, the night holds its reign. We leave this place not with photographs of monuments, but with a feeling, a deep sense of connection to the past, and a profound appreciation for the quiet beauty that can only be found under the watchful eye of the moon. Thank you for joining me on this peaceful journey through the moonlit ruins of Rome. It's a reminder that beauty isn't just in what's new and perfect, but also in what has endured and has stories to tell. If you enjoyed this moment of tranquility, I invite you to subscribe and continue exploring the quiet corners of the world with me. Until next time, find your own quiet moment and just listen. Welcome. Take a deep, slow breath and let the sounds of the modern world fade away. Tonight, we journey back in time, not to the clamor and dust of a Roman day, but to the quiet majesty of its night. Before us, under the soft glow of a silver moon, lies ancient Rome, not as a ruin, but as a living, breathing city, now resting in a profound and tranquil sleep. Look how the moonlight bathes the marble temples and grand forums in a gentle, ethereal light. The Colosseum, a silent giant, stands not as a relic of history, but as a testament to dreams and ambitions. Its arches filled with deep, quiet shadows. The city lights you see aren't the harsh electric glare of our time, but the warm, flickering dance of countless oil lamps and torches. They glow from windows, line the colonnades, and cast a soft, golden hue upon the cobblestone streets, hinting at the lives within, now hushed in slumber. Our gaze drifts over the rooftops, a mosaic of terracotta tiles shimmering under the stars. The air is still, carrying only the faintest whisper of a breeze from the surrounding hills. Below, the Tiber River flows like a ribbon of dark silk, its surface a perfect mirror for the cosmos. See how it captures the pinpricks of distant stars and the gentle face of the moon, creating a celestial pathway through the heart of the world's greatest city. The river, which bustles with barges and boats by day, is now a silent observer, its gentle currents the only movement in this still life masterpiece. Let your eyes follow the winding paths of the streets, now empty of the throngs of senators, merchants, and citizens. Imagine the echoes of their footsteps, the ghosts of their conversations, now replaced by an all-encompassing peace. The grand structures, the Pantheia with its awe-inspiring oculus open to the heavens. The temples of the Forum, the sprawling imperial palaces on Palatine Hill, stand in quiet reverence to the night. Their powerful forms are softened by the moonlight, their daytime grandeur transformed into a serene and mystical beauty. Allow this sense of calm to wash over you. The atmosphere is thick with tranquility. The soft clouds drift lazily across the night sky, occasionally veiling the moon and casting slow-moving shadows that glide over the sleeping city like gentle caresses. This isn't just a view, it's a feeling of profound peace, of being connected to a time long past, yet feeling its pulse in the quiet of this moment. There's a magic in this stillness, a sense of permanence and history that soothes the soul, as we hover here, suspended in this dreamlike panorama. Let go of your thoughts. Let go of the day's worries. Breathe in the cool night air, filled with the faint, earthy scent of cypress trees and the distant aroma of cooling hearths. This is a moment of pure contemplation. The city sleeps, and in its slumber, it reveals its truest self not a stage for power and conflict, but a home, a sanctuary, a place of dreams. Every glowing window tells a story. Every shadowed alley holds a secret, and every silent statue guards the memories of millennia. Feel the weight of history around you, not as a burden, but as a comforting blanket. The architects, the poets, the emperors, the everyday people, they all walked these streets, looked up at this same moon, and perhaps felt this same sense of wonder. In this shared stillness, across the chasm of centuries, we find a connection. We are part of a continuous story, and tonight, we are privileged to witness a page of it that few have ever seen. The cinematic quality of this scene is no accident. It is a masterpiece painted by the night itself. The interplay of light and shadow, the reflection of the stars on the water, the sheer scale of the architecture under the vast, open sky, all combines to create an experience that is both epic and intensely personal. It feels real enough to touch, yet so perfect it must be a dream. This is the Rome of poets, verses, and painters' canvases, brought to life for you in this moment of perfect calm. Let this ultra-realistic vision fill your mind. Observe the intricate details, the texture of the stone on the aqueducts stretching into the distance, the subtle variations in the glow from different lanterns, the gentle ripples on the Tiber's surface as a night breeze passes. The longer you look, the more you see. The more you see, the deeper your relaxation becomes. The city is a living organism, and right now, its heart is beating slowly, steadily, in rhythm with your own breath. As our journey through this Roman night continues, allow yourself to simply be present. There is nothing to do, nowhere to go. Just be here, floating above this magnificent, sleeping world. Let the profound tranquility of this scene permeate your being, restoring your energy and calming your mind. The night is deep, the stars are bright, and all is well in the heart of the eternal city. This is your sanctuary, a place of peace you can return to in your mind whenever you need it. Let the serenity of ancient Rome at night guide you into a state of deep and restful peace. Thank you for joining this peaceful journey. If this experience brought you calm, please consider liking and subscribing for more tranquil escapes. Until next time, may your nights be filled with peace.